pastry. It's a pastry. It's a donut.
Cute little woodland guys. They're making little houses.
It's a donut. It's not an actual
You're
tail.
deep frying the beavers. Oh no. Oh, that's tragic. Okay. Well, I guess I'll eat a beaver. Okay. All right. Any other suggestions for what we should do while we're here?
Make friends with a bear.
Drive on the phone.
Nice
This
one.
might surprise you. I did not bring a car from Florida. Just a little. We took a plane.
Canadians can be very angry and rude.
We're not
I've
polite.
not seen Florida drivers, my dude. Anything else? Any other suggestions for what we should check out? Yeah? No?
Try Cad's Wonderland, perhaps?
Try what?
Cad's Wonderland?
Cad's Wonderland?
Canada's Wonderland.
Canada's Wonderland. What is Canada's Wonderland?
Theme park.
The equivalent of like Six
Big
Flags.
park.
With lots of roller coasters. You're gonna like it.
Oh, I do like roller coasters.
If not, then the exhibition, the CNE.
The CNE. What is the exhibition?
Canadian International Exhibition.
Canadian?
It's a amusement park.
Exhibition. Okay, so we've got 2 amusement parks we gotta go to somewhere during this trip. It's like a carnival. Okay, hang on. Carnival versus theme park. 2 very different images are coming to mind here.
It's a huge amusement park with lots of rides and stuff.
Okay, lots of rides and stuff. All right. Oh, what's your name? Mustard and ketchup ice cream.
What?
What? Have you tried it? Is it good? Is it in the same? What if I got the ketchup chips and dipped them in the mustard ice cream?
That sounds better.
I could try. That's true. I can do whatever I want. All right. Yeah. Go to Ripley. Actually, one of the girls that was with us. Anyone check out the Kawaii Culture in Japan panel that we just had? One of the girls in that, she was actually pointing that out. She's like, I want to go see the fishes at the aquarium. So recommended. It's a good aquarium.
Yeah.
You can pet stingrays.
You can pet stingrays.
Yeah, and feed them. It's really cool.
I want to pet a stingray. Oh. Give me one moment here. I'm just gonna casually run.
Yeah.
But you know, everybody, I think we might have a special guest that might be waiting for us. Could we give it up really quick for Jason Liebrecht? Give it up. Welcome. We've all been waiting for you. We're so excited that you're here. Yeah. Keep clapping.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Fantastic.
I'm in the New York City of Canada.
You're traveling a lot.
I do.
For all the parents in the audience, why don't you let us know who you are, what you do, what makes you fantastic?
I'm Ernesto Jason Liebrecht. You might know me as Dabi from My Hero Academia. I've been in academia is what it should be called. Or Lord Champa from Dragon Ball Super, or Zeke from Attack on Titan, or the Beast Titan. I'm not going to list them all. It's been about 20 years, so I'll stop there.
That's what IMDb is for, folks, so make
That's
sure to
right.
check it out. But all right, well, whenever you're ready, we can start taking questions whenever you're ready for it.
That sounds good. Let's do it.
All righty, everybody remember Mr. Microphone right there? We introduced him earlier in the...
Mr. Microphone.
Mr. Microphone, if you have any questions, line up at Mr. Microphone, and maybe if you are lucky, you'll have them answered right now.
I'll try to answer all of your questions within reason.
Within reason. Don't make it weird, folks. Don't make it weird.
Can't hear her voice.
Too late.
And good night.
See if he can do the voice for us.
You know Kyle Phillips, right?
I do know Kyle Phillips, yes.
All right. Well, I'm acquainted with him, and he's dared me to tell you this joke.
Okay.
How do you catch a fish?
With bait.
With your shoulders. I don't know either.
That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. He just told me to say that. So.
Okay. All right.
Well, now
I'm
you
going to have to have
know.
a chat with him when I see him next. That's a good note to start on. I don't know what the hell that was, but you know, here we are. Hi.
Hello.
How you doing?
My question was like in My Hero Academia, and the your picture of Dabi shows up. It says his quirk is unknown, and it says question mark.
Do you want to know what his quirk is?
Yeah.
It's cremation. He reduces things to ash.
But then why is there a question
You know, you need to talk to the manga writer about that. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I've known for a while. I don't know how I knew. I mean, it just spoke to me. But I've seen it written down as well. But yeah, it's cremation. I don't know. You should write them and be like, what's up with that? He knows what it is. That's a great question, though. Thank you. You look very similar to that other person.
Yeah, I'm not sure why.
Did you guys know each other, or did you coordinate your outfits today?
Maybe we're just long lost siblings, I don't know.
Oh, well, that would be lovely. A reunion of sorts.
Yes.
What's your question?
My question was, do you read manga so that you know
No,
what's happening?
I do not. But people tend to spoil it for me anyway. What I try to do, and I've been successful with Attack on Titan, is I try to not know what's going to happen so that I can react naturally to it. And truthfully, in the moment, in the first couple takes, we do this stuff cold, right? We do it alone. We got a director and an engineer, and when we're working at home, it's just us in our little studio. And in our cans are the other two people who are part of the equation. And we don't get that script until that day. So everything is read cold, and for me as an actor, I find that it's more useful for me to react to it in real time. Although with Dabi, people have not been able to. I mean, it's been about 3 years since his true identity's been revealed in the manga, so I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. Does everybody know who he is? Yeah. Does anybody, raise your hand if you don't know who he is. Oh. Okay, so we need to shut up. Good almost answer.
Didn't you say white hair or red hair?
To piggyback on that question, I was just wondering, since you've done so many great roles like Zeke and Dabi, has there ever been a time where you kind of wish you didn't get to be that role and experience the manga or anime like with everybody else, or do you feel like
No. I mean, I'm a single dad of a 13-year-old dude, so whatever puts food on the table, that's what I want. And me reading the manga as just as one of you guys would probably not pay. So yeah, I need that income coming in. He's 5'9.5" now, so he's growing very rapidly. He eats a lot, and that's my son Sid. Anyway, yeah. I gotta do what I gotta do. I'm stuck in there now, man. If I took my resume anywhere but an acting job at this point, they'd laugh in my face.
First of all, I just want to say I love your character, Dabi. He's probably my favorite in the whole series.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you to say. Usually people are like, he's my favorite villain or my second favorite villain. And I'm like, well, maybe someday I could aspire to be your favorite character. Thanks for coming up and giving me a backhanded compliment. Yay!
And so my question would be, what was your favorite scene doing in the whole series?
I mean, every moment that he has is pretty badass. To full disclosure, he's not been in it enough for my taste. Hopefully this next season will rectify that.
I agree. We need more Dabi.
I know that he's been a pretty central figure in the manga of late, and hopefully they end up animating most of that. I don't expect him to do it all because that would probably take seasons of material, But yeah, every time he's talked has been pretty awesome. I mean, he's the one-liner champion as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, everything I've said has been pretty awesome. But that said, that kidnapping Bakugo episode and that overhead shot where they come down and he's just leaning against that tree, burning that forest to the ground with his blue flames, cremating it. Where'd she go? Where'd the little Minecraft girl go? Anyway, that moment, I think they had to stop because I was like, that's so fucking badass. Excuse my French. Yeah, I know, I'm not going to say that anymore. My apologies. My son hears it all the time. I try. Maybe I need a swear jar or something. No, I mean, right now, anybody got a jar? A joke. I digress. That is my answer. Good question. Hi.
Hi. I was just wondering how you got into voice acting and if you have any advice for aspiring voice actors.
I do, and I'll tell you, I'll answer the first part of your question. I kind of fell into it, but that said, I've been an actor since I was about 7 years old. So I've been training my whole life for this gig. 20 years ago, I found myself at a birthday party at a bar in Austin, Texas, and a gentleman I happened to be sitting at the bar with, who I shut down the bar with that night, Lowell. Lowell was a director for a company called ADV Films. There was a studio in town called Monster Island Studios. ADV used to be Funimation's biggest competitor back in the day. And as they were telling us to get out, he was like, man, I've seen you on stage, I've seen you in some movies, some independents here in town, and I know you can act. I've got this show I'm working on to get backers, and one of my leads is not working out. The dude just is not very good at the whole dubbing thing, and you want to come in Monday and see if you can take this on? And I did, and I finished the rest of the contracts in like 4 hours that day. And that was 20 years ago. So I did fall into it. I was in the right place at the right time. However, like I said, I've been working on honing my skill set since I was a kid. So had I not done that, I would not have had that opportunity. Had this gentleman not known that I could act and I was pretty good at it, I would not have gotten that opportunity. So my advice would be, get yourself in an acting class. Hone your chops, because that's first. The voice part is secondary to the acting part. Funny voices, that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for people who can communicate everything that you communicate with your full body, with your whole array of weapons, but with only one weapon. And to be truthful with just that and communicate emotion with just that, that's actually harder. End of answer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you think Dabi views Toga as like a little sister, or thinks of the League as like a found family?
I do not. He's kind of a lone wolf, even when he's in the League. I've had arguments with people about this. People are like, well, but shit is your boss, right? I'm like, he doesn't have a boss. He only participates when he feels like it, and it's only if he feels like it meets his particular ends. So, no. I do think that there's some camaraderie there, but he's pretty bitter and negative, based upon circumstances that we will not name because of those people who raised their hands a few minutes ago. That is my personal opinion. You guys can disagree with me all you want, but I'm not going to talk about it now. Well, Papa. Speaking of the devil.
If you could take any other character's line and say it as Dabi, what would it be?
I am here.
Oh, she died.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, hi.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Are there any like vocal
It's still going.
nuances that you like discovered that Dabi has shown you, like through playing him, that you've discovered?
No, I mean, my first direction, the first session is when we kind of try to hone in on what the voice will be, right? And she basically said, it's just you, but just, the most badass you, and the most don't give a F you. So I guess that's what we honed in on, the don't give a F. Notice I didn't say the other thing. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Do you want me to hold it?
No, you're not. It's perfectly right. It's perfect for you.
Anyways, if you and if you could voice any other character in My Hero, who would it have been?
Oh, midnight.
But what would that sound like?
You're very welcome. I mean, can you imagine with this voice? Being pretty weird, right?
No, would it?
Why? Yeah, it wouldn't be weird. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, it will be weird.
Let's try to leave the mic on the stand if we could.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So how would you feel if Dabi and Yato will be friends together? What would you say about it?
I think that they would be lovely friends. Yeah, they'd have a very weird relationship, but I think they get along ultimately.
And will you end up being friends with Midnight from Fairy Tale? Because you do kind of look like Midnight from Fairy Tale.
Oh, there's another Midnight. I mean, sure, I'd be friends with anybody named Midnight. I'm cool with that.
Simp.
Let's not have some peanut gallery comments if we could.
Hello.
Hello.
I know this is the Dabi and My Hero.
You can ask me about anything.
But
Well, within reason.
Within reason, yeah, be careful. I hope it's okay if I switch it up with an Attack on Titan question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wondering how you feel about Levi and Zeke's dynamic. I'll leave it open to that.
Well, I can kind of summarize that in one little statement. I heal, and Levi doesn't.
Oh, shit.
That's just the truth.
Thank you.
Hi.
I just have like a short question. What do you think about the way Dabi's feelings towards his dad plays out in the story?
I mean, it's not coming quickly enough. Yeah, that's my. If they don't get to his arc in this next season, I'm gonna burn something in the real world. Not really, Terry. Terry's a firefighter. I don't mean it. Not. It's just an expression. Anyway, yeah. It's time. Enough filler. It's time.
Agreed.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you very well.
Okay, so, I'm assuming you weren't really familiar with Dabi's design until you actually got the script or like actually got to see him in a booth or something. So if that's the
Were you familiar with him before that?
Just like, what I meant to say is like, what was your first reaction to his design? Because he kind of makes Shoto proud that he only has one scar.
I mean, I kind of felt the same thing the thing I wasn't supposed to say earlier, that he's so effing badass. In appearance, too. Plus, I've never had a burn victim be such a sex symbol. It's really quite interesting how that worked out. So emo, too, right?
Hi.
Speak of the devil.
Oh. I was so nervous to come up.
Oh, come on, you look great.
Thank you. I'm melting.
I bet.
It's so hot outside.
It gets hotter, trust me.
Oh, I know. So I want to say that it's wonderful people like you that inspire me to want to actually become a voice actor and get into that medium. And I wanted to ask if there was any particular style of character or any character that you wanted to kind of get into voice acting when you started doing it.
I mean, honestly, because of the way that I fell into it, I didn't know what to expect, and I had no expectations, if that makes any sense. When 20 years ago, none of us knew that this was a path that we could take to support ourselves. You know, it was just a facet of our pursuit of being working actors. You know, it just happened to be gigs that we got that were pretty cool. I watched some anime when I was a kid, not a lot, but a few things, and a few things that are still very poignant to me and have been inspiring to me. Like the film Akira was a big deal to me, and that's a manga that I read all the way through. I don't do that very often, but yeah. Did I answer the question? I'm not even sure.
Thank you so much.
Good. Hello, sir.
So how do you feel knowing that your universe, Universe 6, lost the Tournament of Power?
It's great.
Really?
Makes me very happy.
Really? That Universe 6?
Well, you know, it's a cartoon, right?
Okay, you have a point.
I mean, whatever happens, it's cool. I mean, I hope he comes back. At least he did come back. I hope that Lord Champa appears again. That'd be fun. I think there's been enough of the skinny god. You know, never trust a skinny god, right? Or a skinny cook. Yeah, it does cheese me off that Beerus got the ramen eating pop. Like, what's up with that? Clearly, he's not eating anything. Anyway, yeah, whatever happens, happens, man. I was disappointed when they went away, and I thought they weren't going to come back, but then they came back. So, cool. Thanks, man. You're back.
I have a question, and I'm not 100% sure if I worded it properly, but what's your opinion on people trying to replicate your voice to create content for other people?
They should do whatever makes them feel happy. Within reason. Don't start fires, right, Terry? Hi, you're back.
Yeah. I just noticed something.
What is it?
One person went again. A whole crowd of people that just went back.
Did they leave?
No, they just.
Are you guys leaving? Okay, see you. It's been a pleasure. Truly a pleasure.
But my real question was, how on earth did you change your voice so much Because I had no idea that you were Champa and Dragon Ball.
You know, I don't know how I do that. I just do it.
So can you try right now?
What, Lord Champa? Of course. He's just a facet.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
I was just wondering, what's one of the funniest moments you've had recording in the studio for any of the animes you voiced?
I had a moment, it wasn't an anime, it was a video game recording session for Square Enix. I was working at a studio in Shanghai, China, and it was my first day in the studio. It was winter, it was very cold there in the winter. And of course I refused the car to go to the studio, despite the fact that it was about 1.5 miles from the apartment they put me in. So I was gonna walk to work. And I walked to work and I was wearing, full-on union suit, long johns, and layers upon layers upon layers. It's really cold, but if you're hustling, you get sweaty anyway, right? Despite the fact that it's cold. So I get into the booth, and there's no windows in this particular booth, so I'm like, I'm just gonna take these clothes off and hang them up so they'll dry. And I hung my jeans over the radiator, and my jeans had my only credit/debit card in them, and I had not yet been paid, and I was in China. So at the end of my session, my debit card was completely melted and useless. So at the time it wasn't funny. It's become more funny in hindsight. But see, you guys laughed. It became funny. I don't know when it became funny, but it became funny. It was a dumb move, amateur mistake. My jeans were nice and toasty. That was a good idea. But take the credit cards out of your pockets first. They ended up giving me an advance on my pay in the local currency, so crisis was averted. However, at the time when I discovered it, I was like, oh no, I'm here for a month. And I can't get any money. Anyway.
Sure. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
I have 2 questions.
2?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
What type of music do you listen to if you do?
I listen to all kinds of music, actually.
That's so fair. Also, I don't know if you want to look. My friend has made this wonderful painting 4 years ago of your character.
What's the medium?
It's like acrylic. He hates it. I kept it.
Bring it up. I can't.
How do you feel about this? We're out of 10 if you can. 10 to 1.
That's not fair for me to do that. I'm kind of an art snob. It's great. It's excellent. It's excellent work. Whenever you try and you make some art, it's excellent. I'm not, some people bring me a piece of art, I'm not going to go like, that sucks. Dude, you really shouldn't do this, you know that, right? Stick to your day job. I'm not going to do that.
So my next question is how do you feel about Dabi and Hawks' relationship in the series?
Oh, I think it's very appropriate and very hot.
I love that.
Hi, you said you had a 13-year-old son?
That's correct.
I was just curious if he watches any of the shows that you watch.
Oh, he doesn't care at all.
He doesn't? I was wondering how
Actually, if any of his friends know and come over and they start to freak out about it, he gets really pissed off.
He's like, we don't
He's like,
watch
shut up,
it.
it's just Papa. Come up to my room. As a matter of fact, I'll bring him to conventions with me and they'll be like, do you have to bring me to these?
Oh my god.
I'll give him money. I'm like, walk the floor, buy whatever you want. Couldn't find anything, Papa. Can I go back to the hotel and order room service?
He's like, just buying Hawks.
13-year-old, dude, get ready, Terry. The teens, they get surly, especially in the beginning. He's still a good boy, but dude, he can lighten up. He can stand to lighten up a little bit.
And quick second question, who would win in a fight, Dabi or Zeke?
Dabi.
Appropriate.
Zeke doesn't have any powers. And even if he's the beast, I mean, you can still just cremate him, right? So.
Like he's throwing, but can you throw fire?
But he can heal. I don't know how he could heal from cremation. If he's reduced to ash, I don't know that he's going to heal anymore.
We gotta fully analyze this.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Dabi would kick his ass.
Have you recorded any voice lines that haven't made it into the anime? And if so, what's your favorite one?
I have not.
Really?
Everything I've spoken as Dabi has ended up in it.
You only do perfect lines.
Well, I mean, I don't write them, although occasionally we change them up. Occasionally we improvise if they don't fit or something. Like, you gotta understand that what we do is within a certain set of constraints, so to speak. Not only do we have to communicate truthfully and honestly in terms of the emotional content of what we're saying, naturally, but we also have a a very definitive start and stop point, in addition to certain flaps that go a certain way. So sometimes you try to fit a line that they've adapted, and that's the other thing. Japanese and English, they don't directly translate, right? I mean, they've got different root languages. And culturally, it's very different too. There are concepts in English that don't exist in Japanese and vice versa. Yeah, I guess that's the answer. Did I answer?
I didn't really ask anything.
Okay. Well, cool. I answered something. I don't know what I answered, but.
It was a good conversation.
Well, good. I'm glad we had a good conversation. This is an excellent conversation, guys.
In another world, if Dabi did get to go to UA, what kind of student do you think he'd be?
That's interesting. Well, I hope I don't know. I mean, it's really hard to answer this without giving stuff away. His hypothetical father has another son who's hypothetically in that school and has hypothetically not the best relationship with him either. Like, it reminds me of the kid who's like pushed by his father into a sport that he's good at but he doesn't like very much. Yeah, so maybe not well. I think he'd still have a crap time of it because, frankly, he's got a shitty dad. Excuse my French. I said it again. Stop it, you drug it out of me. Hello, sir, you back again?
Yeah, I'm back. Do you have any, like, since you mentioned you had to travel to China for, like, a recording of something, what advice would you give, like, people who want to pursue acting or like aren't in the acting business, but, like, they have to probably move to somewhere farther than they expect, like, aka from one country to another, completely different one, with different like, you know, like just from Canada to the United States. Let's just say that.
I mean, keep an open mind and consume everything that you come across, and don't borrow trouble, and enjoy as much as you can. I mean, that's all one can do, right? At the end of the day, approach it with positivity and see what you get out of it.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Hi again.
I'm not sure if you know about like the recent controversy with MHA and Disney, but there was like a really funny meme that came out of it. It's something to do with copyright.
There's a controversy between MHA and Disney?
Yeah.
Are they fighting?
It's to do with like copyright or something like that.
What?
But
What, are they trying to rip us off? They own everything. What are they want more?
apparently so. That's why the manga's on the hiatus.
Man.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
But there was a really funny meme that came out of it, and it's a Dabi meme. I don't know. You probably won't be able to see it from here, but I'll just like. If you could just read it out.
Let me see. That's the past never dies thing.
No, but it's a different thing.
The clubhouse never dies? I disagree. The clubhouse dies. That should have been the meme. The clubhouse dies. Burn the clubhouse to ash. Not really, Terry. Not really. Doing all right.
So I was just wondering, what was some of like the earlier stuff that you did? Like, were you doing like stand-up comedy acts or?
No. I've been doing theater and film since I was about 7 years old. In that capacity, I was part of an experimental devised theater company that's based in Austin, Texas, called the Rudemex. With the Rudemex, I traveled all over the world with our original productions, like literally all over the world. We've been in residence at Yale multiple times. We've had pieces commissioned by Lincoln Center in New York City. We were a pretty successful theater company, but at the end of the day, that doesn't necessarily, what my first love was film. My father, who's from Chile, an immigrant to the United States, came up in the mid-60s, and I was only kid, and he had sole custody of me when I was growing up, so he'd take me to the movies, usually inappropriate films he even had arguments with people because people would see him with his 6-year-old in some R-rated thing that was really violent or really a little too risque, and they'd try yelling at my father, and you don't want to mess with my father, especially when he was in his 40s. What was the question?
Whatever, like, because you were mentioning.
Oh,
like,
you're just asking what I did before. Yeah, okay, so the theater company, I did a lot of theater, which included development of pieces, and we worked on one piece for 9 years. We'd show it throughout that time period, but the final result was one that we did at Yale. And then outside of that, I've done a bunch of independent film work, and I've died in just about every network television show that's shot within a 500-mile radius of Austin, Texas. Yeah, so you want to see me dying, it's not too difficult. You're very welcome. No stand-up though. Stand-up seems really hard to me.
I'm back, taking advantage. Okay.
Okay, that's cool.
Sorry.
Do what thou wilt. That's the whole of the law.
Wait, if with as minimum spoilers as possible, if Dabi didn't turn out the way he did, would you think he still would have enjoyed voicing the character?
I relate to him because of my own personal history and my own personal trauma. So, enjoyed, yeah, sure. But would I have related to him as well as I do? No. Hello.
I just wanted to ask, do you find the simuldub process different? And if so, do you enjoy it better than standard release schedules for dubbing?
Oh, you're talking about simuldub versus standard release. I will say this, the simuldub process, because I'm not based in the Dallas area where most of that stuff is recorded, has led to me getting cast less frequently. So I definitely preferred the old way.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
What was your favorite part about portraying Zeke?
Much like Dabi, Zeke is a very, very complicated fellow with many, 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 many layers. And he was very slowly revealed over the course of his tenure on that show. So that's what I like the best about him. As an actor, that's incredibly gratifying and satisfying to have a character that's got levels. I feel like people assumed that he was, not to give anything away, but people assumed that he was a villain initially. I disagree wholeheartedly. However, it's all about perspective anyway. And, I feel like both Dabi and Zeke feel like they're doing the right thing. And that, in their eyes, doesn't make them the bad guy in the story. Like for Dabi, the heroes are the bad guys. But not only that, in my personal opinion, and this may not be a very popular one, I feel like the heroes are largely one level. But the villains are multi-layered, multi-dimensional. There's something behind their madness, and that is, for someone who came from the stage and the screen, doing more naturalist, more realistically based acting, that's really gratifying. Hey. Hi. How are you? Me too. Yeah, I'm good.
Which character has impacted your life the most and how?
Wow. I don't know. I would say that Dabi and Zeke are the ones I relate to the most. Even, over any other character I've done in 20 years of doing this. So I guess in that respect, either of those two characters would be my answer. But I've never really thought about it in that particular way, so, yeah.
I don't know why I asked this question.
It's cool.
I had another one that I immediately forgot the second time.
Oh, I got you. Can you remember it now?
No.
No? Well, cool. Maybe you think of it later, and you can come and see me at the table and be like, hey, I remember my question. Thank you. Thank you for the alternative question. Yes, hello.
Sometimes I forget my questions too.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Everybody forgets questions every once in a while. Sometimes I go into a room, I'm like, why am I in this room?
That's ADHD. I wanted to ask, is this do you always talk like this, or do you have different ways that you talk to different people and different ways and stuff like that?
What do you mean?
Like you know how some people talk to, let's say your family and your friends, you talk to them differently or something?
I mean, yeah, sure. I'm sure I do that. I mean, it depends on my mood. But if you're asking me if this is my voice, and I'm tweaking it, no, this is my voice. I know it's pretty close to the Dabi voice, but that's kind of the thing.
That was my question.
I might be a bigger goofball with my friends. Like later at dinner, I might be a little weirder, a little. Of course, they won't be asking me questions like this. Like, hey, dude, is this your real voice? Which is not what you asked, to be fair.
There's one more question.
What is it?
How did you decide to come to FanExpo, or did they ask you?
Yes. Well, I was asked, and I decided I would go.
I think that's it.
Okay, if you have anything else, or if you remember her question, please come back up.
I just wanted to say, since you had made the comment about relating to Dabi due to your own trauma, that I too find him as like a major comfort character for that same reason. And if you didn't voice him, it probably wouldn't have like the same impact because you put a lot of emotion into it. And Dabi is my favorite character for that reason.
Thank you.
That's all. I didn't want to ask a question, just let you know that.
That is a very lovely sentiment. I appreciate you giving that to me.
If Dabi had ended up going to UA as a hero, do you think that he would have bonded with Shoto more rather than trying to take his revenge on Endeavor through Shoto?
I don't know what you're talking about. That hasn't happened yet. Yes, they'd be better buddies, but none of that other stuff you said even was said. This did not occur. Erase your brains.
Also, if Shoto had never been born and the perfect quirk child hadn't been created, what do you think would have gone differently with Dabi in his life? Where do you think he would be instead?
He'd be the whipping boy.
Yikes.
That's a downer.
Hi, I came in late, so I'm sorry I just want to ask this.
Oh, that's okay.
But if
You're
you-
allowed to come in late.
If you got stuck in any of the
Wait a second, what time did you come in?
5 minutes.
That's cool. Go ahead and ask your question, I guess.
So if you got stuck in any of the worlds that you voiced in or any anime, which one would you want to be stuck in?
I'm trying to think of where the food looked the best.
Probably not Attack on Titan.
No, not Attack on Titan. I don't want to be in that world, dude. That world sucks. It's like perpetual World War II, but with like giant beasts and walls and yeah, I don't want to do that. Where was the food the best? Oh, there was a show called Darker Than Black where I played the lead. It's a kind of a two character role. Badass. Leather-clad, masked, electrical-powered contractor by night, the Black Reaper in the by day, mild-mannered student. But the way that he replenished his power was by eating, and the food, the way they drew the food in that show, I always left the booth hungry. So I'm gonna choose that one.
I definitely have to watch that.
And just to cut in real quick, we do have about 10 minutes left, so
10 minutes.
10-minute warning.
Think of your questions. Don't forget them when you come up. Or do, I don't care. Hello.
Okay, so my question is, when you're preparing your characters, now we know that the original language is Japanese. So when you're preparing for it, how do you decide on your dialect or maybe your accent?
Well, that is a collaborative process, but like I said, the director basically we worked together a lot. She had directed me as, what are you guys talking about over there?
Sorry.
It's okay. I just hear you.
They wanted to know what was
out of
going
this,
on
out of this ear. It's okay. I'm not mad or anything, but I am curious.
They're passing notes. We're talking about where to go after this.
Okay.
Because there was a 10-minute warning. So
They want to know where to go after this. If you guys have any input, please let us know. What was the question? Oh, right, the voice. How did the voice come about? I kind of answered it before, but Colleen, formerly Clinkenbeard, what's her name now? I can't remember what her married name is now. I think she still goes by Clinkenbeard professionally. In any case, she had directed me in a number of shows, mainly with Monica Real as my co-star, Tsubasa, and what was the other one? Moonphase. There were a few of them. So we knew each other. We had a rapport, an actor-director rapport, which is a great thing to have. You want that. That makes things a lot easier. In any case, like I said earlier, basically I came in and she's like, it's just you and your lower part of your range, your natural range, but a little bit more don't give a F and badass. And I'm like, like this. She's like, that's it.
Well, I guess there's one more question. So when you
Okay.
are sort of preparing for the character, do you take the original for reference? Because we know that with every actor, you come up with different versions, right?
Yeah, no, we listen to it, but like I said, culturally and language-wise, it doesn't translate directly. So I'm not one who tries to ape the Japanese actor unless it makes sense. And sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. I think the Seiyu that plays Dabi is very good, but we have very different takes on the character. That doesn't mean that I don't occasionally hear a read from him and think, oh yeah, that's the direction.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Did you remember it?
No.
Okay.
Do you ever mess with people in drive-thrus?
No, but I have gotten some tables in some nice restaurants.
You should mess with people in drive-thrus.
I should mess with people in drive-thrus.
Specifically McDonald's.
Well, I've literally been told, like, oh, sorry, we don't have any tables tonight. Are you sure you don't have any? They're like, wait, are you? Maybe. You got any tables now? Yeah, I think we do. That's what I thought.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, take it easy. None of that in here.
Hi again.
Hi again.
Has there ever been a time when you debited yourself as a voice actor, or if that's what you should?
Absolutely. That's part of this gig. I mean, we deal with rejection constantly. If we're lucky, we don't get dozens of jobs a week that we audition for, which I know it sounds like it sucks, but the thing about it is that's dozens of opportunities. And as long as I keep booking one or two every now and again, I'm able to continue to feed that kid that's going to eat me out of house and home.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
How's it going?
It's going all right.
Does All Might look evil to you?
Yes. Yes. It's the eye thing. And when he's decrepit, even more evil. He's like a witch in the forest or something, right? Like, what's up with that? Except with the tie on, it's really weird. It's a weird, like, kind of mixed message. Like, what are you? Are you like a salary man, or are you a warlock? I don't know.
Second question. If
Did you forget your question?
No.
Okay, good.
If Dabi, his hypothetical sibling, were in a fight and then his father shows up, would you think Dabi would use the line "Daddy's home"?
Daddy's home.
You're
That
getting makeup all
tastes
over me.
bad in my mouth. You're welcome to approach that microphone, tall sir.
We do also have about 5 minutes left.
5 minutos.
Okay, 2 questions real quick.
Okay.
1, how cool is it to have your voice on national television like Toonami? And second question, what Canadian cuisine are you looking forward to trying when you're in your town this weekend?
What's the second part of the question?
What Canadian cuisine or Canadian food you're looking forward to trying sometime this weekend?
Oh, okay. So, it's really cool, is the first answer. And then the second answer is, what's funny is one of my best friends is Chris Abbott, and he's here this weekend. And what he tends to do when we were at these things together is he just researches and makes reservations at fancy Asian places for the whole entire weekend. So my dance card is booked up, man. I ate lovely Thai food for lunch at a place called Pai today. Pai's awesome. Foreigner spicy is kind of spicy. I'm gonna have some of that aburi sushi. I think that originated in Vancouver. That's the Vancouver specialty, but Miku does it here too. Yeah, I like all the food, dude. I like all the food. I'm not gonna eat any poutine. Sorry. Hey, I don't eat a lot of cheese and gravy. Like I don't eat a lot of potatoes, frankly. I like the meat. The meat, that's what I'm looking forward to, your Toronto meat. What's up, Blue Jay?
Hey, who's the worst father, the hypothetical one in My Hero Academia or Grisha Yeager?
The hypothetical one, for sure. Grisha didn't know what he was doing, dude. Grisha screwed up. The other one is just a dick.
Awesome. Well, that puts us.
Is
about
that it?
That puts us about at time, just about there.
You
Did
guys-
you want to let anyone know what you're excited about while you're here, or your table hours maybe? Come
I
for an
mean,
autograph?
I'm excited to be here at all and meet all you guys, man. It's been over a decade since I've been up here in the New York of the North. Toronto, no T in the end there. I know to say it. Don't mess with me about it. You guys are excellent. I look forward to meeting many of you, maybe all of you. Even you shaking there in the back. Yeah. I will be at my table right after this as soon as Terry can drive me the 2 kilometers it takes us to get back to my table. I'm sandwiched between Zach Aguilar and Chris Savage, so pretty easy to find me. I'm between those 2 gigantic lines of people. But yeah, it's lovely to be here. Thanks for having me, and I hope it's not the last time we meet. You guys stay safe, have fun, but safely. That's an order.
Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us. Everyone, one more time for Jason Liebrecht. Fantastic. And if you think of that question that you forgot, make sure to stop by the table and ask it. But for now, I must ask you to leave out those double doors in the back.